Have you ever been just about to finish a really beautiful puzzle and then you realize, I don't have the last piece? It's a frustrating feeling, really. And I like to think of life as one big puzzle, where each person displays a different picture and each piece represents a part of their overall education and experience. Those individual pieces are all different, but still equally important to completing their life's picture. And one of those pieces, if not multiple, belongs to the liberal arts. And liberal arts courses are often overlooked by the Board of Education in many states and school districts. However, these courses are important for the development of students' creativity as well as give those students chances to see what they like and give them a broader range of hands-on education. But why is that?
Being involved in liberal arts courses while in school can change how you look at things in the real world. This topic is often talked about but easily overlooked in school districts, especially if they don't have the right funding.
And even if this topic doesn't feel relevant to you, it should. Because to name some of the liberal arts classes that we have in West Mifflin is our art classes, our music classes, ROTC, and many more. And even if you're not personally involved in one of those classes or activities, there is someone that you know who is. Like many people in this class right now.
By the end of this, you should find the importance of having liberal arts courses and see how it is more beneficial to have them than to not. You will see why these courses help to shape the brain, shape how people think, and act as a brain stimulant. These courses open a creative outlet in people, which is noticeable compared to those whose schools lack in the department.
Me personally, I'm involved in stage crew, ROTC, and multiple different sports. So I see the contrast of involvement and publicizing from the school between those and sports. And it is definitely different in how the support varies from our own school for each of those.
I've been involved in liberal arts courses and activities for as long as I can remember. Currently, I'm in choir and drama. I've also been a part of 3 musicals and 4 plays. I'm also a part of West Mifflin's mock trial team. And outside of school, I've been involved with community theaters, musicals, productions, and many plays I was in throughout elementary and middle school.
It's easy to see, really, especially when you're involved in both liberal arts classes and sports, the difference in the way that they are viewed by the school district and the students.
According to the Pennsylvania Board of Education, there are 190,131 students who don't have access to the arts. That's 11.1% of all students in Pennsylvania, and 456 schools, which is 15.6% of all schools in Pennsylvania.
Because those 11.1% of students don't have access to these classes, they are missing out on benefits of taking liberal arts courses. Benefits like the heightened opportunity for all Commonwealth citizens to enjoy lifelong involvement in the arts. Without that involvement, they are missing out on certain puzzle pieces for their life's picture that they could have never realized.
This topic is something that, because of all the benefits it can bring you, is very important to be talked about until action is taken, especially in our school district this year. At the beginning of this school year, our entire music department had their budget cut by 50%, leaving us close to nothing for accompanists for our concert, props for our plays, or costumes and sets for our musicals. On top of that, the music department trip was changed to band only and from New York to Tennessee, which disappointed many students who were guaranteed New York City every other year. However, the baseball team, in comparison, is guaranteed going to Florida every year for their tournaments, and will probably continue doing that despite certain behavior.
And it's not just money and trips that are disregarded either. It's the overall lack of liberal arts courses in our school district. There is only one language to choose from if you want to have one in your schedule, and that class has a lack of teaching positions so extreme that Miss Pioli has to come up from the middle school and come teach here. And Mr. Smuel and Kesser have similar issues having to go between the middle school and high schools to teach their music classes. And revisiting the language issues over the summer, close to all of Miss Paoli's class materials were thrown away, leaving her with almost nothing to start the new school year with to start up here.
We also have no writing courses at all in our school district, as well as a lack of English electives. How can this affect those who want to go into an English-related career field? They will have close to no prior experience before college. Another problem with our school district alone, but also many around us, is the fact that we don't have a library. And I think it's safe to assume that the only time a lot of students, especially in this classroom, haven't read a book outside of school and outside of our independent reading studies for our English classes. Now we can't even do that.
And think about Beauty and the Beast. Throughout the story, Belle is hated on for reading. However, her reading is a central part of her character. It showcases her intelligence and independent spirit, both of which led her sacrificing herself for her father, her survival, and the overall build-up to the and plot of the story. Without a library in our school, we are facing an increased lack of reading.
All of these things, no matter how big and no matter how small, can very much so work as an outlet for involvement within communities. For example, there are plenty of sports teams and student clubs who get to celebrate their year's success with banquets, but a club who has never once been able to do that is Mock Trial. Both this year and last year, both sides of our team, prosecution and defense, have made it to the playoffs against other schools in Pennsylvania, and we have almost nothing to show for it. No end of the year banquet, no Mock Trial t-shirts, not even recognition from the school or student body when the competitions were going on. What was being recognized at that same time, though, was the baseball team and their trip to Florida. This just shows that it doesn't matter how good you are if you're not deemed as interesting.
All of these examples we've given have not only been examples of liberal arts, but they have been examples of those puzzle pieces that build your life's picture. The trips, the courses, the library, the recognition. Without all of these things, you have no way to truly know what you want to do. And you have no way to truly expand your views or creativity of these things without the courses.
When you're building a puzzle and you lose even a singular piece, your puzzle is left completely incomplete. Think of life as one big puzzle, where each person's displays a different picture, and each piece represents a part of their overall education. Those individual pieces are all different, but still equally important in completing their life's picture.
If you want to complete that puzzle, you need to get involved and you need to make a change.
But how can you do that?
You can show up. You can show recognition.
You can speak your mind and tell people what you want.
We're talking about our future, the future of up-and-coming generations. Without these outlets, it can lead to an incomplete education or for what it is that students want to do after high school. We want to complete that education.
We want to complete the puzzle.